All right, I've looked around for video or instructions on how to replace just this motor with this Genie motor over here. So, there you go, that one. Got it from Home Depot. By the way, it says that it's a 3155D. It's actually a 3155D-TBK, I believe, according to the Home Depot literature. So if you're going to build for the instructions or something of that nature, then look for the D-TBK. All right, could not find a video anywhere that tells me how to do it, or if I can do it. But AI says I can, so we're going to try it. All right, I regret that this is going to be sort of a half-assed video because my GoPro batteries are dead. So I've got an overhead door, Legacy 920. It's belt drive. If you look up in there, you can tell. And it's hooked up. Everything works except I can't program a remote. It won't take a remote signal anymore. So what I want is to replace it with this Genie here, model 3155D. Now, by the way, that's actually a D-TSV according to Home Depot literature. And you see the rail system is completely different. So rather than replace all of the rails and everything, I just want to replace the motor. This spline here that drives it looks exactly like the one I already have on it here. Hard to see. But these mounting brackets are 9.5 inches apart, same as on the Genie there. And so what I think I'm going to do is disassemble this, let it swing down, take the motor off, and put the Genie motor on, swing it back up, and reconnect it. I'll tell you how it works. Of course, I'm going to have to do some rewiring, obviously, but we got all that. All right, so my first problem is I'm not going to be able to let it swing down and remount the motor down here at grade. I'm going to have to suspend this rail right there. Maybe that's why those things were there in the first place. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to hang that rail and then dismount this motor up here. All right, we've got 6 bolts. See, on the rail, there's, I hope this thing's in focus, there's 2 back here and there's 2 up here. And then on the motor itself, there's 1 here and a companion over here. I don't know that there's a whole lot of magic to it, so I'm going to take the rail bolts off first. All right, I pulled the 2 brackets, and let me know, this is the front bracket, the one closest to the door, and it's just a plain bracket, as you can see. But this one here, it's just got a tab on the back, and this thing, that thing fits in that hole right there, and it's right at the back of the belt there. And it's designed, I apologize if I can't get in focus, but it's designed to, as more or less a keeper for that belt, or a guide to keep it from jumping maybe. Anyway, so just understand that you've got that one. Looks like it does make contact now and again, so good. All right, having taken the brackets off, this is my Genie unit here, and it looks like those holes match up nicely. And that's looks like it's gonna fit. All right, perhaps you can get a little better view. Let me see something. There we go. Put some light on it up in there. You see the belt drive, hopefully. All right, I got the bracket off, so now I'm just gonna get these other 2 off. All right, one last little gut check. I've got the nuts sitting on the end, so the bolt doesn't do something weird and pop out, but I'm about to pull these 2 nuts, and then I'm going to pop those bolts and drop the unit down. It's pretty light. I don't expect a lot of problem with it. All right, a couple of things. I should have wired that tighter so that there wasn't any weight on the motor as I pulled it. That's okay. But if you look up in there, you'll see your gear splined there that corresponds to those splines there. And this is what it looked like. And this thing, it just slid right out, no problem. I will probably put a little grease on the other one when I stick it in there. So let's look at them side by side. Okay, here's the overhead door. Now, this unit is a good bit heavier than the Genie. And it's got this big thing on the back, and you can see it's got a harness dedicated into that. Or over here, I just got an empty plug. I pulled it off, there's nothing underneath it. So this is a solid back. I'm not real sure what that unit does, but maybe we're new and improved. They're both 3/4 horse, so no problem there. And they look amazingly similar. So I'm thinking this is about to work. All right, from the land of don't tighten nothing until you've started everything. This one on, and this one's on. You see it's not snug, that's not snug. There's the front one started on both sides, and there's the back one started on both sides. It slotted perfectly. It fit in there just like it's supposed to. Of course, that's the same rail it just came off of, but it got into there, and man, I'm telling you, it looks hand in glove so far. All right, one last little gut check before I really snug everything up. I was maybe concerned a little bit about alignment there, just, you know, some precautionary trepidation, if you will. Everything looks great. I'm about to snug up this puppy. All right, permit me to philosophize for just a second. I'm not sure how necessary it was. Nonetheless, I tightened here, crisscrossed to here, then I went here, and then I tightened that one to try to get everything even, and I tightened these 2 bolts here. Once I had this really snug as a single unit, then I made sure it was not in a bind and hooked it up. Now I'm going to take my safety wire off. I'm going to wire it up over here and put lights and plug it up, and let's see what we got. All right, folks, I'm going to just say it worked like a charm. Ooh, I love that Whisper Quiet Genie 3/4 horse. Look at that. So, this entire thing is an overhead door brand system except for the Genie motor. Same company, or same parent company, and everything fits, and it works. Yeehaw.